gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us this edition of Leak Project. I'm your host, Rex Bear, and we have an awesome show for you tonight. We have Christa Clark from artisticvegan.com. You can also find her on YouTube. Just look up Christa Clark. I've got her on the Friends section on Leak Project YouTube homepage. And some of the best recipes and meals that I have ever seen come from artisticvegan.com. I'm talking world-class, resort quality, gourmet stuff. And not only breakfast, lunches, dinners, snacks, but also desserts, meat replacement. There's the old, what am I looking for here? The old fairy tale, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you won't be able to get enough protein. Well, some of the strongest people in the world are vegan and vegetarian. So I don't agree with that. And also, the quality of life after you turn into a vegan can be improved. You can feel better. You'll have more energy sometimes. So there's a lot of opportunities for people that want to become vegan. I think the biggest concern most have is obviously the taste. And then it's difficult to be a vegan because you have to shop for it accordingly. You have to go to the grocery stores and change your shopping habits up. If you go to restaurants and go out to eat with your friends, then sometimes it can be more difficult to find meals that are vegan. Yet, according to Christa and Gerald Clark, I know you guys know who Gerald is. We've had him on Leak Project many times. If you go to geraldclark77.com, you can get access to the books and tonics and other things that Gerald has to offer. But also on artisticvegan.com, if you use the code LEAKPROJECT, you'll get access to merchandise with a 10% discount on Artistic Vegan as well. So it's really nice of Christa to break down a few different meals for us. She shows us how they're put together, and just a great show. So enjoy the presentation. Go to artisticvegan.com after the show, and if you purchase any of the product, make sure to use the code LEAKPROJECT. Subscribe to youtube.com/clandestine time lord. Get access to the latest podcast free. We've also got a new YouTube channel called William Wallace, which is linked on our homepage of Leak Project as well. So check that out. We've got exclusive interviews on there as well. And I hope you guys are just having an amazing day. I really enjoyed doing this presentation with Christa. It was fun to watch. In my opinion, she's going to make many of the people on Food Network have a run for their money. Have a wonderful day, folks, and be the change you want to see. This is Rex Spare. We'll talk to you soon.
I have a blog, Artistic Vegan, and I actually grew up on a farm eating meat and definitely wasn't vegan or raised in a vegan family. It was pretty foreign to me when I heard about the concept, and it wasn't until I lived in California, I was on my own, and I gained way too much weight and was actually on the cusp of diabetes and decided I really needed to make a lifestyle change. And so then I attended a raw food seminar, and it was suggested to try a vegan diet once a week or a meatless meal. And so I went ahead and started with that, and then it grew.
Nice. So how long did it take you to become a full vegan?
It took a while. I started off just once a week, going to the health food store and trying one meatless meal replacement. And then that led to Monday through Friday. And then I noticed I had a food hangover on Monday after eating so bad on the weekends that I decided, this has to be a full-time thing. And so then I went vegetarian. And it wasn't until I met my husband, Gerald, that we both went vegan together after too much wine and cheese one winter.
Nice. So Gerald was he a vegan when you guys met and got together, or?
No, he was a vegetarian as well. And we made the change together. I was a little hesitant at first because I really love cheese, and eggs made it really easy. But then I found a whole bunch of new replacements, and you can make your own cheese that's vegan and have all different kinds of replacements for eggs.
How do they taste, like a replacement for vegan cheese and eggs?
Well, it depends. Each kind's a little bit different. Nowadays, they have a whole gourmet line. So if you live in a big city with a nice health food store, you can actually get like pepper jack, for instance, or sharp cheddar, or a brie cheese. You can get a more gourmet base than just a regular cheese that it melts. So that's a big thing in the vegan world, is if your cheese can melt. But nowadays, it melts and it browns and it tastes great. So.
Now, is a lot of the stuff that they use too tofu based?
A lot of stuff is tofu based, but a lot of stuff is nut or seed based as well. So we make our cheese out of cashews, for instance.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Now I've heard of cashew butter, but I didn't know that you could do cheese that way also. How long does that take?
Well, it depends. You can make it right away and eat it instantly within 5 minutes and just blend it up and eat it, or you can heat it and have it within 5 minutes, or you can ferment it for 24 hours and get more of that cheesy type flavor.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is fascinating. Now, I mean, it really is. Now, also, when you started going through this transition of, going full vegan, did you start feeling better physically? Did you notice a difference in your health also?
Absolutely. Yeah, I really kind of pursued it for health reasons, and it was the way I felt that had me make the decisions to keep moving forward. It was noticing that when I ate the meat and the cheese and the extra sugar, that I felt sluggish, weighed down, almost like a food coma after Thanksgiving or something. And probably the choices I was making weren't the best either. Um, and and then just going vegan, I had all this new energy, and I found myself wanting to exercise and get more in shape and naturally leaning more towards yoga on a more consistent basis. And overall, just I would say more energy because your body's not using as much energy to digest that food, and so you have more energy for yourself.
Okay, wow. And also, did you sleep better? Were your dreams different? Did it change you spiritually? Also, I know you talked a little bit about more yoga and stuff.
Yeah, it did, and I would definitely say yes spiritually. I mean, at the same time, about a year after going vegetarian, I met Gerald, and he turned me on to ancient Sumer and structural integration, and Ida Roth would say once you get Rolfing or structural integration done, she calls it the freight train to evolution, and it truly was. And ever since then, it's like night and day if you look at my life. And
Now,
so it was kind of combined with the vegan lifestyle, so it's hard to differentiate, but the combination of it all was awesome.
oh yeah, absolutely. Now also, I mean, you've kind of made a pretty big impact, I would say, in the vegan community. Artisticvegan.com, not only does it have just some great different recipes and pictures to go with the recipes, but I've also noticed that there's been different entertainers that's, the music they sing is kind of like a hip hop slash rap and stuff. You wouldn't think that they're going to be talking about people eating vegan and the Sumerian texts, such as what Gerald has brought to the table so well. And yet they're presenting you guys into their works and lyrics. It's fascinating. Have you noticed that there's been a change since you've been doing this stuff, almost like a global awakening?
Absolutely. When I first started, it almost seemed like kind of revolutionary or like, oh, I'm stepping into a big space. And now it's like, almost feels like, you're a small drop in the water because it's grown so much, which is great because there's just new people going vegan every single day. If you go on Instagram and just look up vegan, millions of results come up, and people of all ages from, even 10 years old are making these delicious looking meals, and 14 years old. And I definitely wasn't thinking that way at that age. And I can tell there's that consciousness shift going on worldwide. And it's a movement that's growing. And there's, like you said, the hip hop rappers like Steve Graham and PTP and Diesel Automatic who are vegan and are talking about it in their lyrics and that benefit for not only your body, but the globe, the world, the animals, and so much more.
Yeah, I mean, you see some of those factory farms, and when they release that video footage that's kind of behind the scenes, hidden cameras, it makes me sad. It really does. I've seen them before where they've grabbed these chickens and just started smashing their heads in the ground, and same with cows and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, you're psychotic. You're a sociopath. How could you even do that? I don't care if it's a man or a cockroach. I wouldn't want to do that to a cockroach even. It just blows my mind. So, but some people are like, oh, it's cool, man. It's it's no big deal. It says in the Bible we can do whatever we want to animals. Essentially, some people feel that way, and not all people, but I've definitely seen that's kind of the excuse when people do that kind of thing. So the fact that you are vegan, I feel that that's so good, not only for the environment but for your spirituality. I myself am not vegan because, to be quite frank with you, I don't have the willpower right now to be completely vegan. I mean, it's really what it comes down to. I mean, could I be if I really wanted to be? Yes. Will I become a vegan eventually? I sure hope so, and I hope that I do it for the right reasons and not because I have to. But I think that that you are vegan and that Gerald is vegan. So looks like you put together a nice bounty for us here. And what are you putting together here? This looks great.
All right. Well, I thought I would start with something that was a meat replacement that once we discovered it, we used it all the time. And it's very simple. You make it in a food processor. And everything here is going to be made in a food processor. So it's nice for summertime. You don't have to cook anything, get anything hot. You can just whip it up and eat it. And so we started with taco meat, and I'll kind of bring it over again.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It's a raw taco meat, and then some sides to go with it. Some guacamole and salsa.
Now when you say taco meat.
No, it's a raw vegan taco meat, and it's made to be like taco meat. It has no animal products in it. It's actually made from either pecans or walnuts, and I actually have a mix today. And so you just take a cup of those, and then you just add a teaspoon of cumin, and a teaspoon of oregano, and half a teaspoon of either chili powder or red pepper flakes, or if you don't like it spicy, you could pass on that. And then a quarter teaspoon of salt, and then an eighth teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And then you can either add a tablespoon of oil, or if you want to go, a lot of people are going oil-free these days, so then you could just use a little bit of zucchini. That's what we'll do.
So you're using zucchini instead of oil?
Yeah, and there's all different kinds of beans you can use instead of oil. And in this case, zucchini works well with the flavor of this. And then we're going to go ahead and use a tablespoon of either soy or tamari sauce. And I'm using tamari just to make it gluten-free. It seems like once you go vegan, then people were wondering, is it gluten-free? Is it oil-free? Is it sugar-free? And you get all these different variations. Is it raw vegan? And your path can just continue to progress healthier and healthier. So then you just take all that and you put it in a food processor and just process that until it's smooth. So pardon the noise, and we'll still.
So do you think it's true about as far as the health benefits of staying away from gluten, because now most of it's genetically modified anyway?
Personally, we notice the difference when we eat gluten and when we don't eat gluten. When we eat it, we feel it around our midsection and we feel more sluggish and weighed down. And when we don't eat it, we can still eat pizza or bread and still feel good. So, primarily from a feeling basis, that's how we made our decision.
Okay.
So that's it. You just put everything in there, and I'll bring it over. And that's it.
Oh, wow. It does. It looks just like taco meat.
And it tastes like it too. So it's kind of trippy, and it's neat because you can use it with, on a taco salad, or you can use it in tacos, or you could stuff a pepper with it, or any way that you normally use taco meat, you could use this instead. And it took less than 5 minutes. So it's pretty rad.
Yeah, that's great. For somebody that maybe wants to go vegan, how long would it take them to get to where they could prepare these kind of meals? Essentially, like, how much money do you think they'd have to go to the grocery store? Because most people, when they open up their cupboards and their fridge, it's processed junk. It's boxed, it's packaged, it's canned. You see very few herbs and spices, and the ones that you see are full of silicon dioxide anyway, most of the time. So if somebody wanted to be at this level where they could actually make these kind of meals without having to go to the grocery store every time, what would be a good foundation for the listener?
Well, I would say getting your pantry kind of stocked. It takes a while. So at first, I would experiment with almonds, and then I thought, well, I'll try cashews. And so if you can see here, we have all different kinds of dry goods that we can pull from, so we can easily, make a variety of recipes. I always keep, for instance, like oats on hand, a variety of nuts. So these are pecans or walnuts, and then dates. We love dates and dry food, and then dry fruit, and some kind of seeds, like chia seeds or sesame seeds, and then beans. And if you're not ready to soak your own beans and cook them, then you can always get canned beans to start. And I would say just get just a few basics, and like we always keep sriracha sauce and salt and pepper. Oregano is really nice for Italian seasoning. Cumin's really nice for Mexican cooking, and sometimes in Indian cuisine. Turmeric or curry for Indian cuisine, and you can. From those, you can make a whole bunch of different varieties.
Okay. And so we were looking at the taco meat that's made all vegan style, and then you've got guacamole next to that?
Yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah, and that's, I can make it real quick if you like. I'll just be right back.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, just one sec.
This is way better than the Food Network, guys. We've got the artistic vegan with us. This is great.
Okay, so guacamole is another really easy one.
Now, isn't there also like more potassium and vitamins in guacamole or avocados than there is bananas even?
Well, I'm definitely not a nutritionist. Don't know everything about all the different everything, but they are great.
It's good for you.
Considered a brain food and a good source of fat, and we love them. We eat them all the time, but we also love bananas too.
Nice. Yeah, I think I looked up one time the amount of potassium in an avocado versus a banana, and there's a lot more potassium and other vitamins and nutrients. Yeah, it was pretty incredible. So not only does it taste good, but it's super good for you too.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You're always learning every day, and almost everything you're learning is how good everything is for you. So it makes you want to keep going.
Right, absolutely. This is why the pharmaceutical industry likes people eating factory farm foods.
I know, because this food actually heals you, and we don't take any pharmaceutical drugs, which is great.
That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
2 avocados that have the seeds pulled out, and then 1 lime squeeze.
Okay.
And then a quarter, a quarter of an onion, and then one garlic clove, and just a handful of cilantro, and just a pinch of salt and pepper.
Now, when you use salt and pepper, do you use specific types?
Yeah, this is an artisan sea salt, or we have like a, I think pink Himalayan salt. A lot of that's really popular.
Okay.
Yes. Just add your desired salt and pepper. And we like ours really creamy, but if you don't, you can obviously mash it up in a bowl and make it more creamy.
It's like a pretty nice blender there.
Yeah, this is just a Ninja.
Okay.
And I don't think it's anything really fancy or special, but it works pretty well.
Yeah, it seems to do the job.
Yeah, that's all you really need. So a food processor and a blender changing it again. Let's go a really long way. And I forgot too. And if you want to add a serene pepper or a jalapeno, or if you like it really hot, you can add a habanero.
You ever put a ghost pepper in that thing?
I haven't, but Gerald would love it. He sometimes habaneros, and I can never get it hot enough. He just loves it.
Nice. Gerald, go with the ghost pepper, buddy. Actually, if you put a full ghost pepper in that thing, no matter how much you can handle, that probably wouldn't be the best idea. Those things are intense.
Once I got a whole bunch of these little red tiny chili peppers here in Mexico, and they're called chili de árbol. I thought they were just a Thai chili. I didn't really know what they were. And I put a whole handful of them in a sauce, not knowing how they were. Oh my gosh, we were sweating. It was bad.
Nice.
Okay, so that's the guacamole there. So again, that took 5 minutes or so. You just put everything in there, whip it out, and then transfer it to a dish.
Yeah, fresh guacamole is good. I'm out here in San Antonio, and people certainly appreciate guacamole out here. But it's even with all the restaurants, it's tough to find a good fresh guacamole, and I'll bet you 90% of them aren't organic.
Right. Yeah, sometimes you don't know what you're getting, and sometimes we'll get it and be surprised. Some people even put mayonnaise in it, which we're vegan, or we don't. I don't understand why you would, because avocados are so.
Or lard? Do they put lard in it?
I'm not sure. I know they do in beans.
Yeah, they definitely do in beans.
So that's that. So a whole bunch of guacamole, and then the taco meat, and then next we'll do salsa, and I'll just be right back. Okay, so a lot of salsas you can make. There's so many different ways you can make salsa. You can make it on the stove and do a slow roast and get the flavors to come together really fast, or really well, or you can do it really fast. And this is actually one of my favorite ways. And it takes, again, less than about 5 minutes, and you just toss everything in your food processor, and then you can grab your chip and start dipping. So it's really awesome.
Perfect.
So just take 2 to 3 Roma tomatoes, and your desired amount of peppers. We'll just do 1 serrano, for an example. In my cookbook, I think you can put 1 per tomato if you like it really spicy. That's Jared's favorite way, but for some people that's a bit too much. And a clove of garlic.
Nice. Garlics and peppers, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
I know. They go great in so many different dishes, and they're so good for you. So can't go wrong.
Yeah, and onions too. I wonder what kind of, health properties, if you look at raw onions and garlic, as far as just fighting off, if it's cold season or something like that, if you're gnawing on an onion, a raw piece of garlic or something like that, if there's health benefits to that or not. But you can definitely feel I don't know, would you refer to it as antiseptic properties? Because, I mean, it burns your mouth if you chew on raw garlic, right?
Yeah, that and antibiotic. And people do sometimes do the raw clove for healing themselves. We'll often do it in soups. And we've been sick one day and made a soup with tons of garlic and onion and ginger, and then the next day felt better. So I think it really works. So this was just 3 tomatoes, 1 garlic clove, a quarter of an onion, a handful of cilantro, 1 lime, and then salt and pepper to taste, and just whip that up. Yeah, so much of the food that you're eating is, has so many healing benefits. So you're constantly rejuvenating your body, rejuvenating your cells. Your liver is replacing itself, and your skin, and so you're just constantly getting, almost younger looking and more energy. It actually has the ability to reverse disease and prevent cancer and diabetes. So there's so many reasons to have a plant-based diet or even a meal in your week or lifestyle.
Well, I think a lot of people worry also about how difficult it is to prepare, and if they go to a certain restaurant or have a particular lifestyle, how much more they're going to have to be, okay, we have to go to this restaurant, ask for this meal, and they might look at it as awkward or embarrassing and stuff. And really, it just comes down to personal choice. Anything about where most people live, I mean, unless you're in North Korea or certain places where you don't have access to particular foods, there's possibilities and options. We have a choice, whether you're in the U.S. or Canada or Mexico or Brazil or South Africa. Well, I don't know as much about South Africa. I haven't been out there, but you know what I mean. It's so I think that it's nice that when people start to see these options, more people do it instead of it just being a fad. It turns into almost like an overall archetype of people's lifestyles. It's that 100 monkey effect where 100 monkeys are doing it. Now they're all doing it eventually.
Yeah, it's definitely been growing, and it does kind of start off as just a decision, and then it grows into a lifestyle change. And I think primarily just because you recognize how much better you feel, and it can be difficult when you first go out, but most waiters or most people that are going to be at a restaurant are going to know what a vegetarian or a vegan is, and if not, then you can say no animal products, and there's usually some kind of option to be had, whether it's Mexican food, Chinese food, Thai food, anything that you want. And I've even seen pictures of some burger joints, and they offer veggie burgers and fries. So if you want something more American or traditional, you can have that. And they just came out with a new burger that better than beef, I think is what it's called. And it even added like beet juice, so it looks like it bleeds.
Yeah, looks like it's cooked medium raw, huh?
Right. They have all different kinds of options right nowadays.
Nice.
I'm just gonna look for that real quick. Yeah, whatever tastes like. And just like that. There's salsa.
Oh yeah, that looks super fresh.
And you can adjust it, if you like it spicier or you want more lime.
I've heard lime is also really good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of vitamin C. I really was more of a lemon person when I lived in America, but now here they go more into limes, and they really grow on that. I love them now.
Okay.
Their lemons here they taste different. They taste sweet. But you can get exported lemons that taste sour. It's kind of funny. Okay. So then you can make a variety of meals with this. And I'll just show you a simple, basic one. You just take a tostada, put a little guacamole on top.
It's incredible how much that looks like just your regular tostada, though. You look at that meat and stuff, and until you actually have a bite, you're not going to know that it's not meat. I mean, that's incredible. And a lot of times people eat with their eyes first. So I guess if you can start off with something that doesn't look like just a block tofu piece that's, looks like plastic, you're actually making things that, and then you start feeling better. And then I guess it makes you excited when you eat because you're like, hey, I'm going to make this today. And I can't wait to go out and ride my bike 40 miles or go on this marathon.
Yeah, if you want to.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, so this is all vegan and plant-based. There's no oil, there's no gluten, and it looks really good, and it tastes really great. And if you've been into it, you probably wouldn't know it was a vegan. So that's that. And again, you could do nachos, you could do tacos, you could do taquitos, flautas, enchiladas. You could use it in a soup. You could change up the seasoning, make it more Italian, and use it in a pasta sauce. Any way you could use like a crumbled beef, you could use it basically.
Now, how do you make up the shells?
Oh, these I actually bought, but you can, make them. I actually did make them in my cookbook. I have a recipe. It's just corn flour, harina de maize, corn flour, and some water, and that's really it. You can add a little salt, or some people add a little baking powder for a little puff if you don't need it, and you just mix that up and put it on a hot, really hot plate, and for a couple minutes on each side, and then you have a tortilla, and you repeat till done. And then those you can either bake to make into tostadas, or some people use oil.
Okay. And then, like I've heard before, and I don't buy this, but some people buy into the, well, if I become a vegan or a vegetarian, I won't be able to get enough protein.
Right. Yeah, we get that one a lot. Oh my God, no.
Prove them wrong, right?
Yeah, no, there are so many people that have proven that wrong. We actually just watched yesterday, I can't remember his name, but I think he's, I can't remember, but he was one of the strongest men alive, and he holds the world record for carrying the most amount of weight. So definitely protein is not an issue. And Gerald often brings up, if you look at, for instance, like a horse, they're out there eating grass and they're completely ripped, so they're full of muscle and there's no issues. And there's all kinds of people like Vegan Gains or Diesel Automatic or all different people who like to quote unquote get big on them and still be fit and strong, without any issues. And there's so much protein just in regular food that in spinach there's protein, and the quinoa or the grains that you eat or in the nuts that we made this mix with. So you're constantly getting it anyways. And in Forks Over Knife, they actually talk over that you don't need as much as is reported.
Huh. Okay. And what do you do for breakfast typically?
For us, we're kind of boring. We do smoothies. We do smoothies all the time. We like smoothies in a variety of different ways, almost every day. But when it's cold, we do like oatmeal, and sometimes we'll do tofu scramble, which is kind of a mock on scrambled eggs, and it's actually very good. And
how would you make that?
Just with some tofu, and then you can use any number of seasonings that you want. So if you want it, if you want it kind of Mexican based, then you can add the cumin, the paprika, a little chili seasoning. And there's this thing called nutritional yeast, and it's full of vitamin B12. I would say B12, and it tastes like cheese. And so you can use that on there, and it kind of gives it that cheesy flavor, and it's good for you. So that's pretty neat.
Okay.
And you just make that, and you just crumble it up and put it in a pan. You can either use oil or not, and mix that up with whatever herbs and spices you want. If you want Italian or Indian flavor or Mexican, and then once it's your desired consistency, you have breakfast. And I actually have a little how-to video on breakfast tacos featuring it in there.
Is that on your website?
Yes, and YouTube, both of them.
Wonderful. So if we were to go to artisticvegan.com, we could pull that up right now, and then they could also go to YouTube and just type in Artistic Vegan, and they'll find your channel as well.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's under Christa Clark on YouTube. I changed that.
Christa Clark, yeah, I think you're right. Okay, yeah. That's fantastic. Another thing I was going to ask, do you have a cooking book?
I do. I started, my first book was pulled recipes from my blog and just created a book off that and self-published. And once Gerald actually saw how easy it was, that's when he got the initiative to turn his stacks of paperwork into his first book, The Anunnaki Guru. So you just never know what happened.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, tell us more about your website too, and what you do as far as the blogging and the videos and stuff like that, and the recipes. Is it something that you update daily, weekly?
Artisticvegan.com. It's just basically kind of like a journey with me through my vegan journey, starting back in 2012 to now. So I've been vegan about 5 years. You can see the past 4 years of that pretty much online. And it's got a number of recipes. I try to cover the bases from beverages to smoothies and breakfast and muffins to meat replacement items. You even have vegan sausages on there, hamburgers, and all different kinds of things. When I first started out, I tried to do a lot more meatless replacements since I grew up eating meat. It just was more natural for me. And now as I go on, I'm really fond of plant-based foods, and it doesn't really matter how it comes to me, but I still do enjoy like a burger or a sloppy joe's. We have that on there. And just as a dessert, I really have a sweet tooth. And I actually did make a dessert, and I could show you how to make that too. Or we could do that next time.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I was just about to ask if you have a dessert for us. Thank you.
Yeah. If you want to give me if you want to take a couple-minute break, and I'll get that set up.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is very cool. I can't wait to see what dessert you're bringing to the table. I mean, as far as I'm a dessert guy myself, I'm always wanting something after dinner, yet very rarely do I have the opportunity to have dessert. So what are you bringing to the table for us here? What do we got?
Well, we have a peanut butter caramel slice, and Gerald often calls them sneakers. So it's got a pecan crust mixed with dates and topped with peanut butter, and then a caramel layer, which I'll show you how to make, and chocolate. And it's all made, I'll show you how to make it all. It's all made in a food processor or in a bowl, and just layering and freezing, and that's it. And then you can eat it. And these are one of our favorites. So to start, just take a standard loaf pan, and I lightly greased it, put a piece of parchment paper on the inside, and I do put the edges up a little bit higher that we can just pull it out, and there's no cleanup, which is awesome. And a little bit of oil on top of that, you can spray it or just gently apply. That way you have all your bases covered and you won't have any sticky mess. Okay. And so the crust is really simple. It's either pecans or walnuts. Again, so you add a cup of those. And a half cup of medjool dates. And we constantly keep these around. And I got really lucky yesterday. I went and picked some up, and she opened the new package. So we just got really soft, fresh ones. If they're not soft, you can't soak them for 30 minutes in some warm water or overnight to get them really soft. Okay. So just a half cup of those. And these are great because a lot of crust recipes use butter and a lot of crust recipes use sugar. So this will combine it together as the butter would, and it'll make it sweet like the sugar would, but without the bad side effects. So that's cool. We like dessert. I'm a dessert person myself, and we often have a dessert after dinner. So I try to make them as healthy as possible. That way we can maintain our size and still enjoy treats.
You know, I remember growing up, my dad made this cake called Death by Chocolate Cake, and it was so good, but it was like 500 calories a bite, you know? It was very decadent.
I know. I was actually watching some of the Food Network because I hadn't really been very familiar, and I was like, just at all the sugar and the butter that was being used. And I'm sure it tasted delicious, but I wanted to show that there's a lot of alternatives that you can do instead of right. So you can still have a treat and not feel bad.
Right. And you know, it's amazing if you look at what people do as far as preventative maintenance and upkeep on their vehicles. What the kind of fuel they use, the type of synthetic oils, when they get tune-ups, and well, check out my new Porsche. You know, I go every 3,000 miles. I get the synthetic, and then as they're putting synthetic oil in their Porsche, they're driving through McDonald's and eating Big Macs. You know, it's like, wait a second. you're, okay. Yeah.
Well, I've been there myself. I mean, when I first left home and lived on my own, I lived next to a McDonald's and a Wendy's, and I would get a 99-cent cheeseburger, or a salad was healthy until I realized the salad dressing they were giving you to put on it. And so I didn't actually really start in the kitchen until I went more vegetarian.
Okay.
So this was just a cup of pecans or walnuts, a half cup of medjool dates that are pitted, a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and a quarter teaspoon of salt. And it is good to look at the ingredients in vanilla because I have bought some before that said it was pure, and then I read the back and it had corn syrup in it. So everything in your food processor and blitz that together until it sticks together. So it should take about 30 seconds. Maybe it might be a little loud, but it'll be cool. So I'll come over and show you. It's really nice and it sticks together really easily, and it also has a nice crunch to it. It's sweet, salty, and a hint of vanilla with the caramelness of the dates. It really creates a nice crust.
Oh yeah, that's something you want to buy in bulk. I wish they sold that here at like Sprouts. Buy it by the pound.
So you just transfer that to your lined dish that has the parchment paper in it. And then you can either use your fingers, which is what I do most of the time, and you can also use a little bit of parchment paper, and this will make it so you don't fit anything on your hands. And then you just press that into the bottom. And this creates a crust, and you can use almonds or cashews, or some people use mulberries if you don't want to use nuts. Or you can even use sunflower seeds and or pumpkin seeds. The nuts are nice because they have the natural oil in them, so it kind of releases that and it helps them to stick together. Okay.
How many different dessert recipes, or I shouldn't say how many do you know of, because I'm sure there's a whole bunch, but if you were to think on a weekly basis, how many different times you prepare a different dessert? You say few times, 3 or 4.
Yeah, I would probably prepare more dessert than most people with a vlog. So I'm trying different cookies, or like I made ham pies recently, and I must have made them 5 or 6 times before getting the recipe just right where I could share it. So you do enjoy dessert probably more than a standard person. That's often why I try to make them oil-free, gluten-free, sugar-free, so that way we can eat them and not get the download diabetes or something.
Right, right. Can they be used also as like energy bars and stuff like that for somebody that's active? I mean, do you make stuff that's kind of prepared for somebody on the go a lot?
Yeah, absolutely. And even a recipe like this, that was the crust ingredients, you could add some chia seeds or some protein powder. A lot of people roll them into a bar, or they'll take this and they'll put it in the freezer and then cut them into little bars and individually wrap them, or you can make them at different heights that are baked. And I have different energy bars on there, and lots of other people do too.
Okay, cool.
And so the next layer on this dessert is peanut butter. And I did actually make our own peanut butter. And you don't have to, you can buy some. And if you want to make it, it's very simple. You just buy either natural or roasted, either one are really good. And you put 3 cups in a high-speed blender. And you can add a little oil or let the nuts release their own oil. And you put it on speed 1 until it completely stops. And then you put it on speed 5 until it stops, and you scrape it, and you just repeat until you're left with peanut butter. And I made this morning.
Oh yeah, I'll bet that tastes so much better than the stuff if you buy this. It's prepackaged with bisphenol A lining on the inside of the plastic and all the other stuff they use to preserve it.
Yeah, it's great, and you can use, you can do that same practice with almonds, with pecans, with walnuts, with hazelnuts, sesame seeds. So if you don't, peanuts aren't your thing, then they don't have the best oils in them, then you could choose something healthier like almonds. So the
What
next
is almond butter? Do you think that's pretty tasty?
is what?
Almond butter, is that pretty tasty when you make it?
Oh, I love it, yeah.
Okay.
I like any nut butter myself. Yeah, I like almond butter, and I actually found pecan butter is really good. I didn't know it.
Oh yeah, I guess that would have a pretty unique taste to it.
It does, it does. And what's neat is when you make your own, it's kind of warm, and so I like to get your own, like a big knife full of it. It's just really good. It's so creamy and warm. So I just took about 3/4 cup of the peanut butter, and I'm just going to pour that on top of this.
Talk about a homemade dessert right there. I mean, that's from scratch. There ain't no prepackaged stuff there, folks.
Yeah, when I first started cooking, in my very first cookbook, it was named for Modern Man. I actually kind of laughed because I did start off using packaged stuff. Like one of my recipes even refers to a box of cookies. And then now we do everything almost from scratch. We make our own flour, even, and our own milk.
Have you ever thought about going on Chopped?
Insert Gerald showing.
Thank you.
This is my second cookbook, and this one is a lot more what they would call plant-based whole foods diet. So it has oil-free options, gluten-free, and just a ton of recipes. I've actually been thinking about splitting it in 2 because the cost to self-publish is great for so many.
Is that available on artisticvegan.com?
It is, yeah. Yeah, you can get it there and on Amazon.
And also, isn't there a code that they can use for a 10% discount called Leak Project or something?
There is, yes, it's new.
Very cool. Yeah, folks, I'd recommend checking that out. Go to artisticvegan.com and pick up a copy. I'll tell you, if you really start getting into this kind of stuff and becoming more health conscious, eating better, becoming not necessarily somebody that's going to be a full-time vegan or vegetarian, if they're going to maybe do half and half and start with steps, this is a good option, you guys. Once you look at some of these foods and meals that she prepares on her website, I mean, this is world-class stuff. So.
Thank you. Okay. So,
well, thank you. This is great. I mean, this is like a course here in how to cook vegan, how to make something healthy and delicious at the same time.
All right. So it looks like we've got some. What are you preparing for us now? We're going to go to the second step of this snickerdoodle process here.
Yeah. So we have the pecan crust, and then we have the peanut butter on top of that, and then we're going to make our own caramel and put it on top. And this is a really easy way to make caramel, and it's actually just made with dates and water. And you could use coconut milk if you want something more creamy, and you could even add a little bit of coconut oil and heat it up if you wanted. This is probably just the quickest, easiest way. So I took 3/4 cups of pitted medjool dates that are really nice and soft, and a hefty pinch or about a 1/4 teaspoon of the Himalayan pink sea salt, or any kind of sea salt's fine, and a teaspoon of vanilla. And the same amount of dates that you're going to use is the same amount of water. So 3/4 cups, so 3/4 cup of filtered water. And that's it. And then you just kind of whip that up. And I made these this morning so I could show the finished product and tasted the caramel again and was surprised at how good it tastes. It's shocking. And it's just 4 ingredients. And it turns out really nice and thick.
Oh, yeah.
And then just take that on top of the peanut butter layer and just pour and spread that on top. So it's a really easy dessert. If you served it and it looks gourmet or it looks really nice, if I had a little cafe or something, I would easily sell those. And if it's made with a food processor, and then the next step is just in a bowl. So, you know, practically anyone can make this. Okay.
Now, is it more expensive to be vegan or actually cheaper versus somebody that, you know, is eating everything?
I think it depends on where you live, and you know, like when we lived in California, I think whether you're vegan or not, it's expensive to buy food, and especially if you want to buy organic, heirloom. And it depends where you shop. I mean, if you're going to go to Whole Foods, obviously you're going to spend more than if you go to even a farmer's market and get some local produce. So I would say region has a big part to do with it. Obviously in Mexico, it's a lot less expensive to be vegan. The fruit and vegetables here, they grow so much of their own food that you can get, you know, locally grown food for very, very inexpensive. And compared to San Diego, for instance, I'm spending hundreds more. So I'd say geographically it matters, but if you can buy local food and stuff, and fruits and vegetables in general are less expensive, it's usually more of the processed foods that cost more, at least here anyways.
Is there a lot of organics then out there versus here at home? Is most of the stuff organic where you live, or is it a combination?
It's a combination. When I first moved, I figured, well, at first I wasn't sure, and then I thought that it was mostly if I bought locally that it would be okay. And then as we kind of traveled, we actually traveled around in a travel trailer, and as we went and saw different places, I would see Monsanto trucks and different Syngenta signs, and you know, infiltrating these small farming communities, and it makes my stomach just churn even seeing that. So they're definitely infiltrating the market here, but there's still a big pull for organic food. For instance, in the Yucatan, Monsanto wanted to buy some land, and they said no. You know, if you do that, then the bees are going to spread it, and then we're going to have GMOs before we know it, and we want to keep our food organic. So, you know, there's pockets like there's in America.
Okay. I've even noticed, like, if you go to the convenience store out here, at least in San Antonio, Texas, you can pick up, you know, I don't drink soda, but somebody could go pick up a Coca-Cola, and it's going to be in that plastic container. You look at the ingredients, and some of the stuff you can't even say what it is because it's got so many letters in it. But the stuff you can describe, you've got the high fructose corn syrup in there. And then in Mexico, if you want to pick up a Coke in Mexico, aren't they all in glass containers, and they don't have high fructose corn syrup in them?
They do have a number in plastic, but yeah, they do. The pure Mexican brand, they use the pure cane sugar, I guess. But people are definitely addicted to Coke here. There's a big, I mean, you'll see people walking around with liters of Coca-Cola, and it's definitely been pushed culturally. We don't drink any soda, but it's definitely a really popular thing.
Yeah, unfortunately. It's generational. You look at it from, it's been around since the early 1900s, and they're so good at marketing and advertising, and yeah.
Oh, I know. And in these the small towns, you'll see buildings with the Coca-Cola drawn on it, and everyone's got a Coca-Cola in their hands. Coca-Cola and beer.
Yeah.
So the final layer is chocolate, and we're going to make our own chocolate. And if you don't want to, you can also just heat up some chocolate chips or a chocolate bar and put that on top. But it's kind of fun to make your own. So this is a raw cacao, and raw cacao powder has not been roasted in the oven, and so it still has all of its nutrients, and it's full of antioxidants, and it's good for you. So as a girl who loves chocolate, I really love it, and I love to keep a good amount around. So I'm just going to take 3 tablespoons of the raw cacao powder. And this is agave syrup. I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of that.
That's good stuff.
It's really good. They obviously have a lot of that here, but you could use maple syrup, like if you're in Canada. That's more popular.
Yeah, most maple syrup here in America isn't even maple syrup. It's high fructose corn syrup with sorbitol, aspartame. I've seen stuff with phenylenolenics in it now. I mean, let's throw in a few more neurotoxins in there, and then they call it
They call little artificial flavors. It's funny when they label it with natural ingredients. You can actually call aspartame now in certain circumstances. You can label it as natural ingredients. Some of these big companies can.
I know they're not really required to put the full amount. I have a full section in my second cookbook on the ingredients because it just really pisses me off because they're not, you know, they're not mandated to disclose everything that's in there. And the stuff that is in there that you can read is bad enough to kill you anyways. I mean, even in hot sauce here, you can find red number 40 or, you know, yellow number, and, you know, that'll give you brain problems. And so it's
that's
hard.
The least of the poisonous stuff they got in there.
Right. Yeah. It's really awful. The more research you do, the more you realize they're trying to kill you. But if you do, you know, your own making your own food, and, you know, trying to use natural ingredients, you can try your best in today's society.
Absolutely.
So for the chocolate, it was just the 3 tablespoons of the agave syrup, 3 tablespoons of the cacao, and then in here is just some warm water just to keep it melted. And this is coconut oil, 3 tablespoons. So it's just a 1-to-1 ratio, which is really easy. So if you wanted to make a smaller batch, you would do 1 tablespoon of coconut oil melted, 1 tablespoon of agave, 1 tablespoon of the cacao. And if you don't like it that sweet, you can obviously use less. I kind of do like it sweet. So then you just whisk it together. And I'm trying to show you. Oops. I don't know if you can see that, but
yeah.
I'll walk over and show you. It creates, I mean, instantly chocolate.
Okay, perfect. You don't even have to put it in the irradiator machine.
What was that?
You don't even have to put it in the irradiator machine. Microwave.
Right, yeah.
Radiate food real fast, it works.
I remember the first time I had a coworker who said he didn't have a microwave machine. I thought it was the weirdest thing in the world. Yeah, how do you put it? And now we don't have one, and each time I see one, like if we go somewhere, and we'll take it out, or I'll use it for storage. So
what's a real good idea is to put something in a plastic container and heat it up for about 10 minutes in there. That's a good idea. Also, it's a good idea to defrost stuff in plastic in microwaves. That's real good, folks. I'm being sarcastic if you guys don't know that.
Happy.
Sometimes I have to remind people I'm being sarcastic because I'll mention swamp gas and they'll think I'm being serious. It's a joke, folks. It's a joke.
Yeah,
not a very good one.
No, it was good. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
I'm not very good at multitasking.
Oh, yes.
Gerald says yes.
Multitasking is the only thing I'm actually semi-good at. I have a time staying focused.
You're doing like 10 things at once, I swear. You get it. So then you just pour that chocolate right on top. And this is optional, but I like it. So you can have a little sprinkle of sea salt. And this creates a sweet and salty dessert. So then you just take, sorry, I can't see it. There.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
So then you take that and you just put it in your freezer for about 4 hours until it's firm. And I'll grab the other ones just as a reminder of what they come out like. And that's it. And then you freeze them and you pull the whole thing out and you can cut them into bars or however you like. And they're really, really delicious.
That looks so good. I'm really hoping you can FedEx me a few of those. Just put on priority and next day shipping, and that would be fantastic. Thank you. Those look really good.
Oh, thank you. They're definitely one of Joe's favorites. He actually asked for them a couple weeks ago, and I was trying to think of what to make, and I thought, oh, I'll make him those.
Nice. Yeah, that was a good choice. Those things look good, and it doesn't seem like it takes too long and not very difficult to put them together. Not a whole lot of ingredients, not a bunch of money, so anybody could do it, and that's great. That's great. Well, I'll tell you, this has been fantastic. I certainly appreciate you coming on the Leak Project here with us, Christa. And is there anything else I should have asked or anything you'd like to share with us before we close out tonight?
No, Rex, that was great. I'm really happy that you had me on, and I appreciate the opportunity to share with everyone a few vegan ideas and what you can do with the plant-based lifestyle. And thanks again for having me on.
Oh, yeah, this has been great. And, folks, make sure to check out artisticvegan.com. You can also go to Christa Clark on YouTube. If you can't find her specific YouTube channel, I've actually got her channel linked on the My Friends section on our homepage at youtube.com/clandestinetimelord. Also go to leakproject.com. Make sure to get a profile there on Leak Project. It's absolutely free to sign up there. You'll get access to exclusive content, updates daily. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And just like Christa's doing and Gerald's doing and many other people, be the change you want to see. This is Rex Bear. Talk to you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us this edition of Leak Project. I'm your host, Rex Bear, and we have an awesome show for you tonight. We have Christa Clark from artisticvegan.com. You can also find her on YouTube. Just look up Christa Clark. I've got her on the Friends section on Leak Project YouTube homepage. And some of the best recipes and meals that I have ever seen come from artisticvegan.com. I'm talking world-class, resort quality, gourmet stuff. And not only breakfast, lunches, dinners, snacks, but also desserts, meat replacement. There's the old, what am I looking for here? The old fairy tale, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you won't be able to get enough protein. Well, some of the strongest people in the world are vegan and vegetarian. So I don't agree with that. And also, the quality of life after you turn into a vegan can be improved. You can feel better. You'll have more energy sometimes. So there's a lot of opportunities for people that want to become vegan. I think the biggest concern most have is obviously the taste. And then it's difficult to be a vegan because you have to shop for it accordingly. You have to go to the grocery stores and change your shopping habits up. If you go to restaurants and go out to eat with your friends, then sometimes it can be more difficult to find meals that are vegan. Yet, according to Christa and Gerald Clark, I know you guys know who Gerald is. We've had him on Leak Project many times. If you go to geraldclark77.com, you can get access to the books and tonics and other things that Gerald has to offer. But also on artisticvegan.com, if you use the code Leak Project, you'll get access to merchandise with a 10% discount on Artistic Vegan as well. So it's really nice of Christa to break down a few different meals for us. She shows us how they're put together, and just a great show. So enjoy the presentation. Go to artisticvegan.com after the show, and if you purchase any of the product, make sure to use the code Leak Project. Subscribe to youtube.com/clandestine time lord to get access to the latest podcast free. We've also got a new YouTube channel called William Wallace, which is linked on our homepage of Leak Project as well. So check that out. We've got exclusive interviews on there as well. And I hope you guys are just having an amazing day. I really enjoyed doing this presentation with Christa. It was fun to watch. In my opinion, she's going to make many of the people on Food Network have a run for their money. Have a wonderful day, folks, and be the change you want to see. This is Rex Spare. We'll talk to you soon.
I have a blog, Artistic Vegan, and I actually grew up on a farm eating meat and definitely wasn't vegan or raised in a vegan family. It was pretty foreign to me when I heard about the concept, and it wasn't until I lived in California, I was on my own, and I gained way too much weight and was actually on the cusp of diabetes and decided I really needed to make a lifestyle change. And so then I attended a raw food seminar, and it was suggested to try a vegan diet once a week or a meatless meal. And so I went ahead and started with that, and then it grew.
Nice. So how long did it take you to become a full vegan?
It took a while. I started off just once a week, going to the health food store and trying one meatless meal replacement. And then that led to Monday through Friday. And then I noticed I had a food hangover on Monday after eating so bad on the weekends that I decided, this has to be a full-time thing. And so then I went vegetarian, and it wasn't until I met my husband Gerald that we both went vegan together after too much wine and cheese one winter.
Nice. So Gerald was he a vegan when you guys met and got together, or?
No, he was a vegetarian as well, and we made the change together. I was a little hesitant at first because I really love cheese, and eggs made it really easy. But then I found a whole bunch of new replacements, and you can make your own cheese that's vegan and have all different kinds of replacements for eggs.
How do they taste, like a replacement for vegan cheese and eggs?
Well, it depends. Each kind's a little bit different. Nowadays, they have a whole gourmet line. So if you live in a big city with a nice health food store, you can actually get like pepper jack, for instance, or sharp cheddar, or a brie cheese. You can get a more gourmet base than just a regular cheese that it melts. So that's a big thing in the vegan world, is that your cheese can melt. But nowadays, it melts and it browns and it tastes great. So.
Now, is a lot of the stuff that they use too tofu-based?
A lot of stuff is tofu-based, but a lot of stuff is nut or seed-based as well. So we make our cheese out of cashews, for instance.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Now, I've heard of cashew butter, but I didn't know that you could do cheese that way also. How long does that take?
Well, it depends. You can make it right away and eat it instantly within 5 minutes and just blend it up and eat it, or you can heat it and have it within 5 minutes, or you can ferment it for 24 hours and get more of that cheesy type flavor.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is fascinating. Now, I mean, it really is. Now, also, when you started going through this transition of, going full vegan, did you start feeling better physically? Did you notice a difference in your health also?
Absolutely. Yeah, I really kind of pursued it for health reasons, and it was the way I felt that had me make the decisions to keep moving forward. It was noticing that when I ate the meat and the cheese and the extra sugar, that I felt sluggish, weighed down, almost like a food coma after Thanksgiving or something. And probably the choices I was making weren't the best either. Um, and and then just going vegan, I had all this new energy, and I found myself wanting to exercise and get more in shape and naturally leaning more towards yoga on a more consistent basis. And overall, just I would say more energy, because your body's not using as much energy to digest that food, and so you have more energy for yourself.
Okay, wow. And also, did you sleep better? Were your dreams different? Did it change you spiritually? Also, you talked a little bit about more yoga and stuff.
Yeah, it did, and I would definitely say yes spiritually. I mean, at the same time, about a year after going vegetarian, I met Gerald, and he turned me on to ancient Sumer and structural integration. And Ida Rolf would say, once you get Rolfing or structural integration done, she calls it the freight train to evolution, and it truly was. And ever since then, it's like night and day if you look at your life.
Now,
it was kind of combined with the vegan lifestyle, so it's hard to differentiate, but the combination of it all was awesome.
oh yeah, absolutely. Now also, I mean, you've kind of made a pretty big impact, I would say, in the vegan community. Artisticvegan.com, not only does it have just some great different recipes and pictures to go with the recipes, but I've also noticed that there's been different entertainers that's, the music they sing is kind of like a hip hop / rap and stuff. You wouldn't think that they're going to be talking about people eat vegan, and the Sumerian texts, such as what Gerald has brought to the table so well. And yet they're presenting you guys into their works and lyrics. It's fascinating. Have you noticed that there's been a change since you've been doing this stuff, almost like a global awakening?
Absolutely. When I first started, it almost seemed like kind of revolutionary, or like, oh, I'm stepping into a big space. And now it's like, almost feels like, you're a small drop in the water, because it's grown so much, which is great, because there's just new people going vegan every single day. If you go on Instagram and just look up vegan, millions of results come up, and people of all ages, from, even